Hi, everybody. My name is Marlena, and I am the leader for Colorado 701 Stroudsburg. We are a new chapter that started in August 2025 and became official in September. Um, Sorry, the cat's all over my layout here. Um, so, I started the chapter because I wanted TOPS in my local community where we didn't have to drive 30 or 40 minutes to the closest TOPS meeting. Our chapter is in a rural area and we have ladies from 4 different towns in our chapter. And after being a chapter for 8 months, 9 months, I did a challenge where I said, hey, you get to add a seed on your watermelon if you come to the meeting, if you record what you're eating, and if you follow your food plan. And that moment, everyone said, hey, wait a minute. How do I choose a food plan? How do I know which one is right for me? And so that gave some inspiration. And after talking with my mom, who's also a TOPS leader, she gave me ideas on a program she did. And so I took bits and pieces from that, but I added to it to create this program. And I thought I would share it with you because if you have new members in your chapter and they are lost of what to do, or if you have older members who just need a reminder of what a food plan is and how to create one, I think this program would be great for everybody. So without further ado, let me share my screen here on, oops, there we go. I'm gonna retry. There we go. Getting started on a food plan with TOPS. I wonder if I can turn it that way. There we go. All right, and can I hide that? There we go. All right. So what is a food plan? How many times have you been lost, or you lost a pound or two, but didn't know how you lost it? Then you gained it back the next week. How many times have you gained weight and couldn't understand why? After all, you have been good all week, but maybe you're just wandering aimlessly towards your goal. Oh, there we go. A plan gives you a direction to go in. Let's say you're going to go on vacation. What steps do you take? You first decide where to go, decide what you will do, and how much money you will spend, and then you can enjoy your trip. A food plan can be a lot like going on vacation. It provides a goal. Where do you want to go? A plan reduces stress. It provides clarity of how to get there. Now, reducing stress. Knowing the tools you need and how to use them can reduce your stress. Tools like using measuring cups or a food scale, or knowing portion sizes, estimates just by using your hands, getting tips and ideas from others, whether it's at your meeting or an online TOPS Facebook group. A food plan can also give you victories. Small or big, these victories along the way can cheer you on. Victories that can be seen on the scale are obvious. The ones off the scale, NSVs, or non-scale victories, can be how your clothes are fitting, how you are feeling, compliments from others. What other victories can you think of? How do you know which plan is right for you? Let's see here. I gotta change on my own screen here. Fad diets are not endorsed by TOPS. Those are the ones that promise quick results and not focus on eating a balanced diet. You want to choose one that you'll be able to continue doing when you become a COPS member, because there are many different kinds of plans out there. The two recommended by TOPS are based on research results. You can also follow a plan recommended by your doctor. Find the one that works best for you. Oops. Sorry, I'm presenting on 2 different devices here. All right, so the first one is the Food Exchange Program. This program was created in the 1950s to help people with diabetes regulate their blood sugar. All the tools you need to get started can be found in the TOPS store. You can get extra help by joining the Facebook page, the TOPS Exchange Lifestyle Change. Of course, there are other websites too that you can also get the materials from. Okay, the TOPS has created the food exchange cards that can be used with the food exchange list. Use it correspondingly with the real life journal. All right, so the food cards all have the most common foods on them, and the serving size is on the back. Uses up 1 card. The book has a more extensive list, plus tips and ideas on how to eat more fruits and vegetables. You can also get books that break down the food categories even more. The Real Progress Journal has a spot for you to record your exchanges as well as any exercise you do. So, using the cards. When you get your cards, it is recommended you also order the holder for your card. Carefully take them apart and separate them into categories. Then, first find your daily calories. Use a calculator to find how many calories you need each day to lose weight. Then take out any cards that doesn't have your daily calorie printed on it. So I'm going to flip you back around here. And I'm going to go back to my camera. Hello again. And I have my cards right here all laid out. So this is the holder that you can get. It has 2 pockets on it. And these are the cards. And I went to this website right here because when TOPS switched websites, I could no longer find the calorie calculator on the website. So I went to this one and I estimated what mine is. That is not mine on there. And then, so what I did is then I actually circled on mine which calories I would need for the day on there. So let me show you a card. This is one that I had to take out because it's above my calorie range. So this is the vegetable one. And on the back are basic exchanges. So 1 card equals 1 of these on the side. Okay, so then there are the categories: the fruit, the vegetable, the meat and meat substitutes, the starches, the fat, the milk, and the free ones. And then it also comes with a few replacement cards, and I've actually lost a few on there. So for the calorie.net, it had actually calculated I would need 2,090 calories a day to lose 1 pound a week, or 1,500 calories a week to lose 2 pounds a week. I chose the one in the middle for healthy weight loss. Then I took out all the cards with the 2,000 and 2,200 printed on them. Okay, so next you're going to make your plan. For each meal, use the food exchange list to find how big a portion is for each food item. Then take out the cards for the day. The goal is to use all your cards each day. Using the journal with the cards will help you keep track of all your favorite foods as you learn the list. Here's a tip. Use one side of the card to hold the need to use side, while the other side is for your all done cards. Or lay your cards on the counter and then hide the ones that you have used. Then next, you have some TOPS tools that you can use. So you can use the TOPS.org website to get you started. There are videos that can help you get started. There's also a free 28-day meal plan that can help you learn how to use the cards. Everything from tips to groceries to recipes can be found on the plan. I'm going to flip you back over to show you some of the other tools that we have here. So here is the when you started, you got the My One Day plan, and in the middle of it, I believe, is a meal plan as well that is mix and match. And if you notice on the side here, it shows you which cards to use for each one on that. And then here's the 28-day meal plan, and it has a shopping list. It gives you a shopping list for each week. It's a 5-week program, and then it tells you on day 1 what you're going to do, and it also shows you which card exchange to use for those meals. So it's pretty easy to get you started on the plan as well. And the My Real Life Progress Journal on the bottom is a tracker on here where you can track how many you've had each time. So use this correspondingly. with the cards. Okay, let me go on back to the presentation here. Okay. All right, here are some quick tips for you on using the cards. TOPS member Pam from Indiana 1523 in Greenwood is an active member on Facebook, and she uses the exchange cards. She also offers a few quick tips on using the cards. Familiarize yourself with the food for each group. The TOPS food exchange list or diabetic food exchange list are very helpful. Maybe read through one list a day or focus on one food group each week until you're comfortable with it. Pam goes on to say this will also help you learn portion sizes. Example, 1 ounce of meat is 1 meat card. Half a cup of fruit or 3 ounces is a fruit. 1 cup of raw vegetables or 1/2 of cooked vegetables is a vegetable card, and so on. Start out with food you like. Anything that fits in your food group is yours to use. Use a variety to keep from getting bored. Give yourself some grace as you learn the exchange system. I'm still learning since I first started learning 10 years ago in 2015. If you aren't sure how to count certain foods, just ask. Have fun. This can be the beginning of quite an adventure. All you have to lose is the weight. Carbohydrate food. Oh, wait, sorry, that's the wrong slide. All right, and the next slide is the diabetes plate. This one, it goes inside with the My Plate. The diabetes plate in 2003, the American Diabetes Association introduced a diabetic plate. It is a simpler version of the exchange cards. You take a 9-inch plate and divide it in half, which you will use to place your non-starchy vegetables. The other half you divide again for your protein and your carbohydrate foods. The protein, this is where you would include your cottage cheese and other cheeses. Carbohydrate foods include starchy vegetables, beans, lentils, dairy products such as milk and yogurt. For your drink, water is encouraged. However, diet and sugar-free drinks are okay in limited amounts. So next up is the My Plate, which do you remember the food pyramid? I grew up with the food pyramid. I know many people didn't have the food pyramid. They had some kind of other food plan since like the 1930s or 40s. We did a whole program. It was really cool. The My Plate was replaced the food pyramid in 2011. A tip here is you can go to myplate.org to get more information and facts about the different food groups. It's really cool to go on there. They have a lot of good detailed information. So when you go on to it, the My Plate has 2 different ways you can use the program. I think I'm up too far. Here we go. You can start off by imagining your plate is divided in half. And then 1/2 of your plate is for fruits, which is 1/3 of your section. Well, and veggies, which is the 2/3 of the plate. And then the other half is for your grains, which makes 2/3 of the section, and protein, which is 1/3. And then, of course, the dairy is the milk over here and your cheeses. Okay. Do you want more accuracy? You can go to the myplate.gov and use the Calculate My Plan feature. It will tell you how many calories to have each day, how much from each category, and ideas of what a serving size is. As a bonus, you can get a special printout, tracking sheet, or use the My Plate app, which is really cool as well. All right, and then there are other food plans, of course. TOPS is all about taking off the pounds sensibly, which means we steer away from fad diets. However, your doctor may want you to follow other food plans. For example, my doctor likes me to follow a Mediterranean diet, which is a plant-based eating plan that has limited amounts of fish and poultry and uses red meat sparingly. It's also pretty heavily plant-based and lentils and nuts. And then, of course, the DASH diet is often used to reduce hypertension. It emphasizes fruits, veggies, low-fat dairy, while limiting sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars, and encourages the intake of poultry, nuts, and beans. So now we follow your plan. So now you know the 2 recommended food plans, the food exchange card and the My Plate. You may be asking yourself, what do I do now? So start slow. Making sudden changes to your habits can set you up to fail. Perhaps you start by using the exchange cards for one meal a day for a week or follow the 28-day plan. Here's a tip for you. Try adding one new fruit or vegetable to your weekly shopping list. Don't shy away from frozen veggies. They are flash frozen, which means they are just as nutrient rich as the day they were picked. Another tip is to start adding a fruit or vegetable to each meal. You can also only plan out your biggest meal of the day and have 2 lighter meals. All right, so now we're going to plan ahead. So when you go on vacation and not plan ahead, you might miss out on activities or find yourself where you don't want to be. With a food plan, you will always be ready for those times when you don't know what to make or just need a snack. So here's a tip. Find recipes that use the same ingredients to make your meals more budget friendly. Plan out your snacks. Keep some nuts or low-calorie pretzels nearby for on the go. I always like to throw in an apple or orange in my bag with a baggie for the cores and the peels. Sometimes our need for water comes out as hunger, so grab a glass of water or herbal tea to see if that helps. If not, then grab a healthy snack. And then, of course, a plan doesn't have to be complicated. It could be start off as adding more fruits and vegetables to your meals or adding a new recipe every week. Make a shopping list of what foods you will buy so you are less tempted to buy the foods that won't help you achieve your weight loss goals. Tips going out to eat, create a plan before you go. Eat half the food on the plate and take the other half home. Look at the menu and decide what you will order before you get there. Sometimes living with other people who are not on the plan can be hard. Be sure to speak up for yourself by having a drawer or a pantry shelf that is just for you. Remind them that you are doing this for you and their support means a lot to you. Can anyone think of any other ideas or tips? It's a good time to share them at your meetings. All right, then you need to find what works. What works for one person might not work for another. Oh, are you the type of person that needs to know what to do? Then you should start with probably the 28-day meal plan or the plan that's in the My Day One book. Sometimes we think a meal plan might be good for us, but then we start not following it. Switch to another meal plan to find one that is easy to use. However, the one thing that all these plans have in common is that they encourage eating fruits and veggies while limiting or eliminating processed foods. Remember, fruits provide us with essential vitamins and minerals that help us fight against illness. And they are also low in fat and can help us feel fuller longer. Veggies are also low in calories but high on nutrients like fiber. They contain antioxidants that protect our cells from damage. Lastly, whether you are using the exchange cards or dividing your plate, keep track of what you are eating will help you stay accountable. You will hear COPS members say, "If I bite it, I ride it." So there are many kinds of food trackers out there, from books to online apps. Find the one you like or make your own. Just like stepping on the scale every week, having a food plan is essential on your weight loss journey. Which plan appeals to you? Of course, a special thanks again to Carol Ottvater of Colorado 584 Denver for giving the inspiration for this program. I also like to thank Pam of Indiana 523 of Greenwood for being an inspiration on how to use the cards. Lastly, to my chapter pals for always asking questions that help us all learn something new.